detected.
Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to The Division 2, and today I've got another seasonal build for you. Now I just did my very first one of these the other day. The gist, if you didn't catch that one, is that seasonal builds utilize seasonal modifiers, so they're specifically applicable to this current season of the game, Year 6 Season 2, because these modifiers will go away at the end of the season, but it's worth taking advantage of them while they're here, because today we are spotlighting the Ravenous. Now, ever since we heard that this gun was going to be going full auto as of this update and season, I knew I wanted to make a build with it. I went back and forth on did I want to make one without modifiers, did I want to make one utilizing them. Ultimately, I've landed on this that I'm showing you today, and I think y'all are going to like it quite a bit. Appreciate everybody's patience. I was getting a lot of questions about when I was going to be delivering a Ravenous video. Hopefully you find it worth the wait. But without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, and here is the build. Now, because this is a seasonal build, of course, we're going to add modifiers into this entire equation. We'll take a look at those last, but firstly, let's take a look at the weapon and the gear. The star of the show, no surprises, the Ravenous. This is what I wanted to construct something around because of the changes that it got with this season. Now, it did not actually get any kind of a damage increase or anything with its talent. All they did was include it in the list of rifles that became fully automatic. And so because of how much potential this gun already had with its talent, if you didn't know, I mean, this thing does insane damage. It always has. But because of how much you had to spam the trigger on rifles, I think there was also some kind of a bug or issue where you would have like an RPM lockup with this where it would slow down its fire rate. That is all now out of the way, and it means that you can truly unleash its potential. So obviously everything on the Ravenous comes fixed. I did roll mine for damage to targets out of cover, so that is giving me even more damage there. Now let's move on to the gear. Now there are many ways that you could set up the Ravenous, and I'm guessing that a lot of people will disagree with me going with Breaking Point here. But what can I say? I think the two work quite well together. Now this did get a buff this season, specifically on the backpack talent, which I am using, in which they increased the amplification talent. I think it used to give you 6% extra damage, now it is 7. The patch notes at 7.2, it says 7 in here, it is somewhere in that range. Either way, when you pop the bonus, which if you don't know what Breaking Point does, you just build stacks with hits, you then reload, and it pops the bonus. This builds extra fast with the Ravenous because of the dual mag functionality. It means that you're building those stacks really quickly. The way you actually calculate the damage is that you do it by its base magazine, which is still half of the total, so it's like around 34, 35. You're not actually getting the full 70 amount. But that said, when you take 34, 35, times it by that amount of stacks and 7%, you're getting well into the hundreds, 200, 300% damage range, so that's a lot when you pop this. The other big benefit is the weapon handling that you get on here, right? If you've tried the Ravenous with Striker, or if you go and try it, you're going to notice that it still kicks quite a lot unless you invest a lot into weapon handling on your gear. But when you pop the Breaking Point talent, you're getting a huge amount of weapon handling as well, and that turns this thing into a laser beam even at long range. So that absolutely plays into everything we're doing here. So to go back, we have 4 pieces of Breaking Point here. Again, that's giving us rifle damage, headshot damage, weapon handling, and the 4-piece talent, which again deals with the reload and getting the huge amount of damage and weapon handling there. For my last 2 pieces, I then just have 2 pieces of the SP Zoo brand set. This is first increasing my magazine size, which is even better because we're getting extra bonus from Breaking Point because the stacks line up with how much your magazine size is, and then 20% rifle damage on there. So we've got crit across there, across both of those pieces rather, and that is what we're going for across the board here. If we go over to my stats, the Ravenous has as close to 60 as I could get it without going over, so around 57 and 112% crit damage. So yeah, that's most of what you need to know. I went for 3 blues on here just so that I can stack the bonus armor with the left shoulder primers on the Ravenous, I'm sure more people will want to go for more reds. Totally go for it, whatever distribution you like. The skills and everything are totally up to you. I did choose to go with Gunner because I think that offers a lot of good bonuses for the style of play that I'm using the Ravenous for, which is a bit more aggressive. So I get armor on kill, I get rate of fire on kill, I just get a lot of those nice bonuses. You also get weapon handling when you stand still. So I think Gunner works pretty well, but you could also opt for something like Sharpshooter for extra headshot damage and stability on rifles. That part's up to you. Let's take a look at the modifiers now though, because again, this is a seasonal build specifically. For the active, I've chosen to use Reversal, and this is mainly for one specific passive modifier that we're using, so let's talk about that first. We have these two, which are for the short range. We have Drawback, which gives us extra weapon handling for enemies within short range, and this just helps even more with controlling the Ravenous because it does like to bloom out a lot. It likes to kick a good bit, so this just helps rein it in on top of what we're getting from Breaking Point. And then we have Liability, which is just a very good perk here to be able to get us that extra damage to armored enemies within the short range. But where a huge amount of my damage in the modifier department is coming in is by using By the Teeth here. This is effective at the long range, and it means that every time you hit the enemy's body, you get a 0.5 times damage multiplier up to 2.5 times, and that then resets on headshots. But the reason I'm then running Reversal is that these two in conjunction work quite well. So if we go into the shooting range here really quickly, I can show you exactly what I mean. Let's turn this a bit up so that we have some health pool to work with. We'll set it to a boss. I'm on heroic, as you can see. So the idea here is that even at short range, without Reversal active and without By the Teeth, this is going to do quite well. So this is a boss. Again, I'm hitting 5 stacks. And one explosion there pretty much did it. We haven't even popped the Breaking Point yet, but let's do that now. So again, this is just base modifiers. I'm going to pop the talent. You can see now on the HUD the Breaking Point thing is going down. I have my extra 200-something% weapon damage, and it just takes one explosion at full stacks to kill a boss. That's already pretty good on its own. But here's what I really want you to see. So I'm going to activate the Breaking Point talent. You can see I've already got my stacks built up, and then I'll hit Reversal. And I just want you to see the damage numbers. When you're hitting By the Teeth as well, those are hitting for very hard. Before the explosion, we're hitting just over 2 million crits to the body with By the Teeth, right? And that is a very strong amount. Again, this is with all of our buffs active, but that is kind of the point of me running Reversal on this and By the Teeth, is that I just want to have that extra zone of damage. If I have heavies in front of me, if I have dogs, if I have something that I just need to mow through, I activate that. And because of By the Teeth specifically, I'm just going to be doing tons of damage on top of what the build already can do. So that's the idea. Running Reversal and By the Teeth specifically offers me a really good burst damage window, and that's what I try and take advantage of it with. And there is the build, my friends. Been having a ton of fun with this. The Ravenous is just too good in full auto. I mean, it was always a fun gun, but now it's even better. So yeah, I very much hope you all enjoyed the breakdown of this build. Any thoughts you might have on it, things you would change if you were going to run it this way, I would love to hear it down below. But also any other build ideas you got, whether or not it is with the Ravenous specifically or just seasonal modifier builds in general. Let me know what you're running with your squad. If you did enjoy the breakdown and you want to see future Division 2 videos like it, I would be appreciative of you clicking that subscribe button if you're not already. Tons more videos coming your way, and we'd love to have you around. That is going to do it for me on this one though, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Ow.